Hey all, part 2 of the Tuesday morning bike ride. Part 1's finished. We just went to the CVS, got ourselves some sunglasses. I really like these solar shield sunglasses that CVS usually sells. They're clear. I wish they were a little bit, I wish there was a medium and a large. I got the medium. I wish I could find the small size. It could be a bit more compact, a bit more tight, but these solar shield, they help block the sun, but you can still see. It's amazing. On days like this, it helps. So we're gonna do this. So we're on the sidewalk right now, but the sidewalk ends. But I can cross here if we just back up a little bit. And wait for this. Well, I guess it's not gonna let me cross yet. This kind of sucks. Maybe the next round. I guess if I can get to the buffer area, that could work. So today's bike ride, let me kind of lay out my route. So Avengers Endgame, the big epic Avengers movie, premieres, I think, tomorrow in LA with a world premiere. And so this weekend is the big release. I have tickets for Saturday at 1 p.m. If you spoil it for me, I may, in the comments, I will find you. I probably won't. I've never really felt that spoilers are that big of a deal if the movie's good. If the movie's good. If it's something like a Shyamalan movie where the entire point is the twist, then yeah, that's a bit ruined. So is this person gonna, yep, they're gonna run that light. Oh, you can't even cross right here. This sucks. So basically, so I do my Saturday errands in the morning. I try to go to the farmer's market right at 9. This is the last weekend of the winter market. I do that right at 9. I'm in and out pretty quickly. If you get there later, the parking is atrocious. There's all those sorts of nonsense. So I want a bike ride to the Avengers movie. All right, that signal's not gonna turn for me, so I just kind of have to make it. I made it. All right, that was not very fun. It's about 8:30, 8:45, so there's still a good amount of traffic out here, but now I'm just on regular roads for now anyway. Anyways, so basically I want to go to the movie theater where I have my tickets booked to. So there's a chain of dinner theaters called Flick's Brew House. They're not, so they're a bit pricier than regular theaters, not because of the food service, but they also show less previews. Like, especially for these big blockbuster movies, the big major theater chains like AMC and whatnot, they will load it up with previews, because that's another way where the individual theaters actually make money, with how many previews and ads they show before the film. Flick's Brewhouse does less of that. So like before the show starts, but if you sit in the movie theater, you get there early, they usually show like clips of television and animated shows related to the movie. So if you've seen an Avengers movie, you may see an animated Avengers show or something like that. Clips from that. That probably costs very little. Hell, Marvel might even pay them to air it. I don't know. But then they show far less previews than other theaters, especially the chains. The Lowe's, Cineplexes, and the AMCs and whatnot. And you know, generally, I usually like to get theaters first thing in the morning, but I just wasn't possible. So I have a 1 p.m. showing on Saturday, so I'll be able to do my Saturday morning errands as normal, and then rest a little bit, and then bike ride to Flick's. Now, I saw Avengers Infinity War at the same theater. Parking was atrocious. It was horrible. It was completely, so they have a private lot and they are surrounded by other businesses, and if you look at the building, it kind of looks like one strip mall, but it's really 5 or 6 buildings that kind of looks like they're together, but they're really not, and they're all owned by different landlords. So surrounding the theater are these big scary signs that say no parking here ever unless you are an MCL cafeteria employee or customer. MCL closes like 3 o'clock or whatever. So yeah, and the parking was out the wazoo. I parked somewhere and kind of just hoped I didn't get towed, and I didn't. But that's why I'll be biking there today, on Saturday. The food, I'll be honest, the food there is okay. It's the beer that they brew there, and they do brew their own beer, hence the term brew house. The beer there is okay to pretty good, and then they have a variety of other national, imported, and domestic beers, both your standard garbage and some craft brews from around Indiana. But they brew their own beer. Their beer is reasonably priced. The other beers are not. I've had the burgers there and a couple of the other entrees. I've had the breakfast there before. It's okay. It's okay in terms of quality. In terms of price, you're probably gonna feel like you're ripped off of it. I'd say stick to the appetizers. The mac and cheese there is pretty good. The milkshakes are pretty good. And the price is about what you expect to pay, especially because you're kind of a captive audience. Now, do we want to head north or do we want to go this way? Go ahead. Come on. We're gonna go. I don't like that curb right there, the entrance to the trail, because it kind of fucks with me a little bit. There's a bit of a bump there. Oh boy. Can I? So I want to go to the Flix Brew House. Best way to get there? It's a good question. I think we're just gonna act like I'm going to work and then detour from there. So yeah, I want to go to the theater on my bike to and from. It'll be about maybe 20 miles or so round trip. So yeah, Flix Brew House, and even when you're doing an afternoon or evening showing after they've had just like jam-packed wall-to-wall theaters, usually the cleanliness is a bit better. So you're paying a bit more for your tickets for the most part, but it's cleaner than your average theater experience. It's a newer building, newer facility, so the seats are nice. There's a lot of theaters in Metro Indy. You know, if you're paying less than $8 or $9 for a ticket, then that probably means that theater has been upgraded since the early 2000s, or maybe it hasn't been upgraded at all. Nothing wrong with that, but just know what you're getting into. Cleanliness is probably not a good factor. I used to think if you get to the first showing in the morning, you'll get a clean theater, and that's not true at all. Okay then. So we are on 106 in Carmel, Indiana, heading west, approaching the intersection slash roundabout slash traffic circle with Gray Road. This is my primary work route as well, how I get to and from work when I am working in the office. I am still working from home due to recovering from surgery, but I think it's going pretty well right now. All right, can I go ahead? Thank you. And then we can swing right here. So what I really like about 106, besides that the trail, so this trail right here starts at Hazeldale, and not only does it connect to the Monon, but it almost, keyword almost, goes all the way to Zionsville, which is in a neighboring county, just west of Hamilton County. There's one or two small gaps, but otherwise there's this paved pathway. It does switch sides of the street sometimes, like after this hill up here, this will switch back over to that side, and after the Monon it switches back over here. But this is a really convenient path. Now, if you're an Indianapolis resident like me, if you're living in like Castleton, somewhere between 86 and 96 and Allisonville or so, or one of those neighborhoods around there, I'm not gonna lie, getting here is you have to be a bit of a daredevil. You either have to, you pretty much have to get on Allisonville, which has a bike lane, which is okay, but then you have to get down 96th Street, head west on it until you hit Hazeldale. And 96, there's no bike lane. There is a shoulder, but the shoulder, particularly once you hit the bridge, just collects all the dirt, all the grime, all the nonsense. Especially in peak travel times, it can be really frustrating. So it can be really, really frustrating. I don't know what that is. It's interesting. I really like this home right here. And someone's barking at me. So we're gonna cut into, if you look to the left, it's election season in Carmel and in Hamilton County. Hamilton County is heavily Republican. No Democrat. I don't know if any Democrat is. Oh, there's one Democrat who holds office on the Fall Creek Township Advisory Board, which handles finance, which is kind of like the legislative body of the township. And she won in an upset last November. She did it, and I forget her name at the moment. I'll look it up, put it in the description down below.